people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. Good people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. I wish that I could sit with you by the firelight and listen to your life. Folks gathered around you when you started sharing your stories and tunes. Your smile was genuine in a world full of politicians. So people loved you without even having to shake your hand, because they just knew if they ever met you on the street, you tip your old black hat to them. You were one of the cool kids who knew that the trick to being cool was being real. You kept true to yourself, the stories and the old tunes, never trading them in for fleeting glory. You found your place in time and made good old days for us to remember. But your gift is that you keep on gathering good people. Good people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. Sing it with us now, good people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. They live on and they keep alive. If you wanna think of wood, just tapping and shuffling and fiddling, a tune with the vamp in the middle singing. Good people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. Sing it with us now, good people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. Real gentle now. Good people for good living and good times in the good old days, in the good old days. I watched my dad work his entire life, and he's a good man, and life isn't always easy on people. This idea of, even though life doesn't always treat us the way we want it to, that we can soldier on and we can move forward and still make something beautiful out of broken pieces is kind of what that song symbolizes for me, that working class ethic and also strength in the face of adversity. He spent his whole life working in a factory. It wasn't clean or easy, he did it anyway. His daddy taught him what it meant to work hard. He raised a family and got a union card. He did it all the way. dreams of working up in tall buildings, but that wasn't a choice that he ever had. So he put in lots of overtime, saved all his nickels and all his dimes, and he thanked God for this life and all he has. Now after working off for 23 years, it's hard to rest or even change gears. It happened this way. High school love said it's time to party. Watched his son grow distant, his daughter lose heart. He nearly lost his way. Now I ain't saying you can't lose your dreams or working up in tall buildings, but that wasn't a choice that he ever had. So he put in less overtime, spent all his nickels and all his dimes, and he wept for the life that he once had. Life keeps rolling on, it causes changes and keeps us pushing on. He made a new way. He met a nice gal and he started to heal. He showed his kids that he loved them for real. He found a new way. Now I ain't saying you can't lose your dreams of working up in tall buildings, but that isn't a choice that he has. So he puts in a little overtime, spends a couple nickels and all his dimes, and he thanks God for this life and all he has. So he puts in a little overtime, spends a couple nickels and all his dimes, and he thanks God for this life and all he has.
Well, Hartford's Gone is another song that was inspired by John Hartford. Korah wrote her Hartford song, and that got me going, well, maybe I've got one in me. And so it's really kind of about how it's really hard to find the right kind of music that I like on the radio. I used to listen to the radio all the time, and now I go years without turning the radio on. And, so I wrote it shortly after Hartford passed away, and I thought kind of the message was that, Hartford is gone, and someday we'll be gone too, but while we're here, let's make music.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sitting on the front porch, listen to the music on the radio. Good old boys singing songs about the good old days. I ain't hurting nobody, listen to the music on the radio. Just singing along while skillet liquors play. Well, it's hard these days to find good music on the radio. Gangster rap and country pop is all they play. I don't got no truck with all of that muck on the radio. Sometimes I think that I was born too late. Hartford's gone, but not the songs, the ones we love to play. We'll be gone too someday, it's true, but not before we say it. Well, I'm sitting on the front porch playing a tune on my mandolin. I don't care what the Congress did today. Fiddle tune is all the news that I need to hear. Just sitting on the front porch, listen to the music on the radio. And the river woes and the hard wind blows and the time flies away. The sun and moon, the night and noon, Lord, roll stones away. Well, I'm sitting on the front porch, listening to the music on the radio. Good old boys singing songs about the good old days. Ain't hurt nobody, listen to the music on the radio. Just singing along while the skillet liquors play. Well, I'm sitting on the front porch, listening to the music on the radio. Good old boys singing songs about the good old days. I ain't hurting nobody, listen to the music on the radio. Just singing along while the skillet liquors play. Just singing along while the skillet liquors play. Just singing along while the skillet liquors play. I tend to think of vacations as places, exotic places to go to play the mandolin and the fiddle. And we're staying up in Galena, and that melody just came to me. And so I named it Galena Territory. I have another one that we're in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and a song came to me, and a fiddle tune came to me, and I wrote it there. So when I go places, I don't know where the music comes from. It's just something about being in a different environment that just, it just appears in my head. It's kind of strange.